Yo and welcome back to the channel from Madagascar. So we've left Fort Dauphin and we're on the road. This is an actual route nationale, believe it or not, the route nationale number 10. Same as a motorway in the west. This obviously it's not as good quality as the European motorways, but it gets you there, you know what I mean? It gets you there if you got a four-wheel drive, that is. It's been a fun journey so far, to be honest with you. We've covered, how many kilometres have we covered? Like around about 250 kilometres, do you think? 300 kilometres? Maybe 300 kilometres, possibly halfway there from Fort Dauphin to Toliara. Obviously it's been a bit of a slow journey because the road is absolutely knackered in many ways. We set off at 5 o'clock last night. My wife's cousin came and picked us up. My wife's cousin lives in Toliara and he's brought this car that I'm driving at the moment, a Hyundai, what is it? Hyundai Galloper 2003. Really good condition car, like it's a pretty good car, like, but obviously it's 23 years old. It's got 200,000 kilometres on the clock. I don't even know whether it's been clocked and the speedo's been wound back or not, but drives like it's brand new, to be honest with you. So it's been well looked after. He paid 10,000 euros to buy this, bought it in Tana in the capital about a year ago, and he does location driving in it, so it's good, it's very good. Fort Dauphin, what was it like? It was alright. It's probably the wrong time of year to go to Fort Dauphin in June, the end of June. It's the colder, dry season now in Madagascar, and it is pretty cold in Fort Dauphin of a night time. And the few days that we were there, it wasn't even sunny. Literally today, when we left today, the sun started to come out, but what can I say about Fort Dauphin? It's pretty small. I think there's about 60,000 people that live there. It's got two nightclubs. One's called the Florida nightclub and one's called the Las Vegas. They're actually across the street from each other. We went in there one night, had a few beers. It was all right, but it's full of locals. Mainly girls, to be honest with you. Mainly working girls, I think, as well. I don't know, but I got that sort of feeling. But like I say, 80% girls and 20% lads in there. The beer's fairly cheap. The food's fairly cheap. There's a few restaurants knocking around, and we found a few little supermarkets, but very small, local. In fact, one of the best ones we found was a petrol station, but obviously you're paying petrol station prices in there, so there you go. But the ride back's been a lot of fun. We actually took a diversion and maybe we took the wrong route, and we ended up on the Zebu cart, the cow and cart track, and we were on that. It was just like a very deep sandy track for maybe, look at this, like for maybe 10-15 kilometers. We actually got stuck once and nearly got stuck a second time, but we were only stuck for like literally a minute and a half or 2 minutes, so it wasn't too bad. Would I consider going back to Fort Dauphin? Probably not. I've seen it. I've been there 12 years ago. It was nice when I went there 12 years ago, and I've just been back for a second time. I don't think I need to go back there ever again. It was reasonable, but getting there, as you can see, this road is a nightmare. We've been on the road since 5 o'clock at night. It's now 3 o'clock in the morning. I wouldn't advise driving at night. It can be dangerous, especially if you have an accident. But we've took the chance and it's worked out so far nicely for us. We're going to end up in Toliara probably in another 14 hour, something like that, maybe something like that. I guess to do 300 kilometers more, 14 hours. probably going to take us around about 25 hours, 26 hours, possibly 28 if we're unlucky to do the whole journey. You've got two choices. You can either come by road, by four-wheel drive. It's going to cost about €200 in fuel, plus the cost of the fuel, the cat and the driver, the four-wheel driver. Or you can come by air, and air is not so cheap either. That's like, you're looking around about, at the moment, I think we paid around about €400 return. We have changed our return ticket from, paid an extra €30 to change the ticket from Fort Dauphin to Toliara. So I'm going to fly out of Toliara in 4 days time, and going to go back, or 5 days time maybe. I think it's around about the 22nd of June now. I'm going around back just the day after Independence Day, which is the 26th of June. Independence from the French, which happened in 1960. So I'm going to go back to Tanna. I'll be in Tanna for about 4 hours, and then directly to Nosy Be and back home, and back to work on my apartments, because I've got a lot of work to do on that. I've told the lads to just do the basic jobs for now, because I want to make sure that everything's right on that apartment, on the roof, before we concrete it all up, you know. I want to be there for that. So, because it's quite important, if you mess it up, it's going to leak, and the last thing you need on a flat roof is a leaky roof. So hopefully we get it right and it's all right, and we don't have any major issues with it. I'm sure we'll have some issues with a flat roof, but hopefully not too many. Toliara, I might go and see if I can find a buyer for me bar and get rid of that. I could do with the money. I can get 20 grand, €20,000 out of that. So that would definitely help my project to move on in Nosy Be, get the apartments finished. I've got about 20 grand in cash at the moment for the apartments, to fix the apartments up and get them on the way. So if I can sell the bar, I'll have €40,000, which will be plenty of money to get us moving. Whoa, look at this state of this road here. Give me a second, excuse me. I'm trying to drive a manual car with one hand at the moment. What do you think of the road? Interesting, to say the least, for a national road. But I think this is like a dried up riverbed, to be honest, what we're on at the moment. And the road, once we get off this road, the RN10, we're going to hit the RN7 and head down to Toliara on that, and that road's not much better either. That road's pretty bad. In fact, it's probably worse than this, driving on this, because this one here, you have to drive fairly slow because it's a mess. The RN7, you can get confident because the road can be okay, and you get your confidence up and you build your speed up to maybe 80 kilometers an hour. And the next thing, you've got like a road which just turns into like this all of a sudden. All the tarmac's broken off or something, and you've got potholes, huge potholes, so you can absolutely damage your car. You can blow your tyres and stuff like that. So you got to really take it easy on the RN7 now as well. 14 years ago when I first came, the RN7 to Toliara was very nice. It was a nice road, but it's deteriorated and it needs to be redone now. Which is a shame, but that's what can you do to fix a road? It costs about, I think it's about $1 million a mile, so it's not cheap, you know. And for a poor country like Madagascar, it's hard work to try and get the money together. That road, the RM7, just to Tanna, is around about 950 kilometers. So you're looking at nearly a billion dollars to retarmac the road. It's a lot of dollar in Madagascar, $1 billion, I'll tell you that much. I see a Keir Starmer's been kicked out of the UK. You don't know, he kicked himself out. He's resigned as Prime Minister. Resigned. That's very, very nice. Good news for the British public, because I think he wasn't really very liked at all. I don't really know, because I haven't paid hardly any attention to British politics since I moved to Madagascar. So, and I'm quite happy with that, because Madagascar's really my home now. My family's here. I live in Madagascar. I'm more interested in Madagascar politics than I am in European or British politics. But there you go. But I thought I'd do a little video just to show you really the road and the condition that it's in. And if you ever visit Fort Dauphin, it's worth. Is it worth a visit? It's probably worth a visit in the other season, around about sort of January, around about January, December. It's probably all right around there. It's nicer weather. The beach is okay, but there's better places to visit, in my opinion. I don't want to put the place down, because it does have a little vibe to it. But I'd sooner go to Toliara or St. Marie, Nosy Bee. There's other places to go, So I probably won't be going back there, like I say. There you go. So yeah, I might even put my bar on the market with a local estate agent. I'm going to go see him anyway, and see what Emu Toliara says, and see if they're interested in selling it. They will be interested in selling it, because it's got full paperwork, which is rare, to be honest with you, in Madagascar. It's not so easy to get full paperwork on property. It takes a long time to get it. So probably, I would guess, only 20% maximum of the properties in Madagascar have got full paperwork, maybe even a lot less than that. But that bar has got full paperwork. It's in my wife's name. It's my wife's bar, and I've got no need for it. I don't really want to sell it, because it's like my baby. It's the first property I ever bought in Madagascar, and I do like the property. And if I had like 10 or 15,000 euros to throw into it, I could finish that project, get it finished, and use it myself, sell it, rent it. But I don't want to rent it. The rent would be low, probably around about 200 euros a month. I don't want to use it myself. I don't want to put a manager in it. So I've got no option but to sell it. I live 2,000, just under 2,000 kilometres away from that bar. So it's absolutely pointless me keeping it, But got to do what you got to do. Nothing's forever, is it? It's the way it is. Nothing's forever. So there you go. Anyway, I'm going to leave you there. 3:20 in the morning. Hopefully daylight will be around about 5:30, maybe 5:45 or something, and then we'll be able to get moving a little bit faster. But for now, I'll sign off. Give us a like, give us a sub, and I'll see ya in the next one.